What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. All intros aside, we're just going to cut right into it because the situation at hand, if you're on this planet, you are pretty much aware of it. And I wanted to weigh out a few things and a few thoughts regarding how it's going to affect my business for the short term and the long term, as well as different avenues I see people taking and my thoughts kind of on that and what I'm doing in that instance, as well as some other things to basically get through the period of time here where things are just different than they normally are in a day-to-day basis. So to start things off, how is this impacting my business on the short term? So my business currently comprises of basically three different facets. The first being website design and SEO for local service companies. So these are companies like lawn care, landscaping, irrigation, tree service, concrete, painting, that sort of stuff. There's actually been an increase in demand for website design and SEO services. Now, another part of my business is building websites similar to a local home service companies and ranking it in the organic search results to help people looking for a service provider in their area. And when someone makes a call or sends their information through the contact form, they get referred to a service provider in their area, and I receive a commission for generating that lead or that call. So how it's affected that, which is otherwise referred to as pay-per-call, pay-per-lead, local affiliate marketing, lead gen, there's like 12 different names for it. There's actually not been much decrease in demand. Actually, the only reason there's been a decrease in demand was because the weather got cold after it being warm for about a week and a half, where things really actually increased quite a bit. But then it got cold, and there's going to be snow coming to areas in the north, which is where a lot of my websites are targeting in terms of the locations with where they're based. So when there's snow on the ground, there's not much demand for things like landscaping or lawn care or any outdoor home service, with the exception of maybe tree removal. And when we have snow that's going to be in the forecast, people aren't thinking about that. So even though there's the situation at hand, there is still demand currently for those particular services. Yes, there is all the economic impact that's going on, and I'll address that here in the next point. But the biggest impact to that side of my business has been really just the weather, and that's what I expected at this point in time in the year anyways, because peak season is going to really come in once the weather really warms up and stays warm for a couple weeks. And the third part of my business is my personal brand, which is here on YouTube. I have an education product and also some affiliate offers that go along with that. And with YouTube, I had my highest revenue day yet just a couple days ago. It was double the best day prior to that. So the YouTube algorithm really worked in my favor on that particular day. Things did drop off a little bit, but I do have to say that the CPMs, which is the basically how much you're getting paid per 1,000 views on YouTube, has gone up about 20 to 30% for my channel at least. And I don't run any YouTube ads, so I don't know the ad costs. I've heard they've gone down, but maybe the demand for people watching YouTube has gone up. So the CPMs have gone up, but either way, I was pretty pumped on seeing that, not only because it's increasing with the CPMs, but just overall that my views and that sort of stuff are increasing, which I am incredibly grateful for that you guys are here watching my content. Now, for how I see this affecting my business on the long term, and when I say long term, I'm referring to 1 to 2 months from now. I'm not talking about 5 years or anything like that, just regarding this situation. And if things are handled as they should be handled, then things ideally are back to normal. This is what we're hoping for, obviously, are back to normal within a couple weeks to a month or so. I know some people are just saying, oh, this is going to screw us for 3 months or 6 months or whatever, but we'll just see what happens. But here's the thing that you need to be aware of is that the skill set of being able to generate more customers for a business is always going to be in demand, regardless of the economic condition, whether it's increasing, getting better, or it's getting worse, in which that skill set is even more in demand because businesses may be losing clients due to those reasons, and they need to replace those clients with new ones, or they want to continue growth of their company, so they want more clients. So that skill set of being able to connect a person with a business and being able to generate money for doing so is, if anything, going to increase in demand due to that. So we will see how that plays out here in the US regarding how the situation is handled, and only time will really tell with what that's going to be. And really only time's going to tell with what the actual impact is going to be when seeing how it's all handled. No one here on YouTube really knows exactly what, but you just kind of have to take it day by day. And the last part is that this actually really applies to everyday life, not just right now or whatever. And that is staying off social media unless you need it for business use. So whether you got to go into a Facebook group to ask a question or communicate with someone via Messenger or use Instagram for your business or whatever it might be, but just endlessly scrolling is extremely detrimental to your dopamine reserves. I've said this in videos. I'm sure a ton of you are going to close out now because I'm saying this, but I don't care, because this is something that I think is more important than any skill set, learning, or tactic, or anything like that. Because if you can resist and control your dopamine and reprogram your mind to focus on your work that you're trying to do with your business and get dopamine releases from that, which is a long-term thing, I'm well aware of that, then you can really tap into almost like primal-like things and be able to get way more done, especially if you cut things out of your life and you don't get to go do those things until you achieve X, Y, and Z in your business, for example. That's one of the absolute best ways to ensure that you stay on your path to your goals. So I get it. We want to learn as much as we can about the situation. And if you have to check the news, you can just go and do a quick search and just get the key points and see what's going on. But then that's it. As far as watching hours of TV or watching hours of YouTube videos or Instagram videos or whatever. But you got to realize that that's just taking up hard drive space in your brain that is really clogging it from having good thoughts in your brain that are going to help you with your business and other things that matter in your life and what's going to matter here in the future as well as you are building your business or doing whatever it is that you're doing that's constructive and productive. Time that one spends on social media, reading through comments or theorizing, or I mean, even if it's something related to like a sports player being signed to a specific team that you didn't like and arguing with somebody about that, that is all time that could have been spent on something productive, whether it's building websites within your business for lead gen, learning a new skill set by reading a book or taking a course and learning a skill set from that, or anything else that's constructive. Anything back over here arguing with somebody in a comment section is just the opposite of being productive and being constructive with your time. And doing that is taking time away from the things that are actually going to matter and benefit your life. So if you see yourself scrolling through comments or scrolling through newsfeed and it's not adding anything of value to your life or anything constructive, remove it. There's a few different apps that you can use to just block out the newsfeed. And that way you can reduce the amount of time that is wasted every single day on useless stuff that isn't going to benefit you in the long run. It just gives you a little bit of dopamine right now and you feel good at the moment, but in the long term, that's not going to help at all. And my last point is the most important part of this entire video. You should be taking this time, and this really applies to every single day life anyways, but doubling or tripling down on your business and what is working and further enhancing and optimizing your business even more, optimizing your brain and optimizing your skill sets. So what do I mean by this? So basically, you've been given a gift. If there is a delay with peak season, you've been given a gift of more time to increase the rankings of your sites if they're not quite ranking yet, which allows you to have more time to build more backlinks. Or if you have to scale out some sites with other services, you now have time to be able to do that, to be able to tap into peak season when that is all in demand. Or if you're doing this for clients, you have more time to optimize their sites to ensure that they're going to really maximize their conversion rate, build more backlinks to their sites. You have time to do that, and also further increase your skill set in something maybe like sales. So reading a book or taking a course on just overall increasing your sales and being able to do advertising and overall just learn how sales work. That's a great example because that's one thing that I'm doing that you can do during this time when there's not really much else going on. You may as well focus on something productive and constructive that's going to benefit your business in the long run. So bottom line, focus on the things that are going to be productive and propel your business forward. That's it.